Pat Jones is someone who's been in the public eye here in Muskegon. Not only did she run for mayor of Muskegon Heights back in 2023, but she also ran for Muskegon County Commission in 2018. I'm on deck the Silver Sides right now. You can probably hear the engine. They started it just a few minutes ago. The engine room is actually right below us. I can feel the rumbling on my feet, and we'll give you a look to the side here. Elena, Grand Haven public safety officers have confirmed that 18-year-old Isaiah Edmond of Ohio did drown here just a couple of hours ago. Now, we should note that authorities did not recommend swimming at all today, just based on the water conditions. And because it's 20 degrees outside, a lot of the water has actually turned into ice. And if you look across the street, you'll see the sidewalk is completely covered in that ice now. We've had some people come around and ask us, do we know when it's finally going to come down? And unfortunately, we do not right now, but I'm trying to talk to some city officials that we talked to earlier today to see if we can get a better estimate of when it's actually going to come down. But in the meantime, Julia, we'll keep you posted. We'll show you what we're seeing. You can barely tell, but there are at least 2 vehicles that appear to have been completely destroyed in the fire. Chris doesn't know exactly how he fell into the wastewater pool. He does point out that, first of all, there are no lights out here. And second, this wall is pretty low to the ground, coming up only to about my knee. Yeah, Julia, not a whole lot of change right now, but if it means anything to you and the viewers, it's more change than we've seen for a lot of the day. So I've been here since around 2 p.m. I'm Lance Wilhelm in for Lauren Baker. 13 on Your Side Late Night starts right now. Just into our newsroom within the past half hour, Muskegon Township Police have confirmed at 13 on Your Side that a motorcyclist has been killed in a crash east of Muskegon. Hopefully it doesn't ruin anyone's beach day. Colton Woods is here with us for another weather update. Hi again, Colton. Now to a developing story in Berrien County. Deputies are investigating a homicide in Niles, and now we're learning the victim and suspect were in a relationship. A West Michigan woman is sharing a unique form of therapy with senior citizens. You've heard of therapy dogs or maybe even therapy horses, but what about therapy chickens? 13 on Your Side's Aaron Sullivan looks at healing hens and shows us this alternative therapy.
5-6 years ago, I ran my first full marathon, which was the Grand Rapids full marathon.
Joe Lalonde hates running marathons.
I was crying. I was stumbling through to the finish line. I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
But right now, he's training to run the 2026 Tokyo Marathon, something he's doing as a part of Team World Vision, which runs to fund clean water for children around the world.
If I can make a difference, even in my suffering, it's worth it.
Joe's goal is to raise $30,000, enough to give water to 600 kids for a lifetime. It's tough at times, but he's pushing through to his goal just like everyone else, by putting one foot in front of the other.
That's a good boy.
Well, actually, 2 feet and 4 paws.
Fun fact about him, his name means happy in Chinese and Korean. And as you can see, it fits him.
Locke is Joe's marathon training partner, and it's happiness, both his dog and the feeling, that Joe says pushes him to continue.
World Vision's colors are orange, and they're happy colors. Locke's a happy dog. And to have like happiness spread through the community through what I'm doing, it brings me great joy too.
That joy has even made its way to some of his spectators' front yards.
The first time I seen that, I almost cried because it was one of those days that was a hard day. I didn't want to get out and run.
A house the running duo jogs by put up a sign in their honor.
I don't even know if he knows how much it actually encouraged me that day to see, something like that in the community.
And aside from his goal for clean water, it's his goal of bringing people around him together for a good tail-wagging cause that keeps Joe running.
They may not realize it, but they're, hearing from different people, friends, classmates, they're like, we see you out there. It's making us happy seeing you guys. And knowing that that happens. It's such a small thing, but it's such a big impact.
We begin tonight with the story of a Hudsonville High School graduate shot a number of times while at football camp in Birmingham, Alabama. Doctors say Ethan Carter defied the odds, taking 7 bullets and survived. 13 on Your Side's Lance Wilhelm spoke with him today as he is traveling back to West Michigan with his mother.
Former Hudsonville High School linebacker Ethan Carter is used to taking hits.
It's like every parent's worst nightmare, I think.
But none like this.
And it almost felt like someone had threw really hard knockout punches at me, and it just felt and then I seen a little bit of blood pouring down and stuff, so that was what I was like, oh dang, I actually got actually got shot.
Carter was shot at 24 times on Saturday from just 5 feet away. 7 of those bullets hitting him in his hands, arm, chest, neck, and his head.
They said there's never before have we ever seen anybody that's somebody's came up, shot somebody at 5 feet away, and it hasn't gone into their, penetrated them anywhere vitally.
Carter committed to play football at Davenport University after graduating from Hudsonville this past year. He was in Birmingham, Alabama to train, something he's done since 8th grade. An avid gun collector, he connected with someone online to purchase a gun, something he now regrets even though it is legal in Alabama. That's when the person he thought he was purchasing from shot at him and robbed him. Carter sprinted out of his car to safety.
Well, there were actually neighbors across the street, and they were actually come here, like they were trying to help me out. And I fell on the grass, and I ran over to them.
The suspect then burned his car, leaving nothing but metal. Birmingham is notorious for its high crime activity. Over the years, Ethan, who by all accounts is an upstanding young man, says he became friends with people who were in the wrong crowd. It's unclear whether that is connected to the shooting, but for now, he says he's just glad to be alive.
I'm just thankful for God about the whole situation, that I'm fine, and that even though it was a dark path, I know that I can trust in God, and that'll help me through things.
I pulled up upon about 10 unidentified men this week detaining the Hispanic men.
Sharon Smith spoke before a Kent County Board Commission meeting about her Tuesday arrest by Grand Rapids Police.
We know that Hispanic people are being targeted. It's been admitted that it was racial profiling, and this is just an evil, racist system.
She says she followed ICE officers to a federal office and blocked the officers from leaving using her car, an act of protest to protect those she sees as being targeted by ICE.
Where did those guys go?
GRPD Police Chief Eric Winstrom told us yesterday that the arrest was purely because Smith was blocking a public alleyway and refused to move, saying it had nothing to do with her protest.
Who are we making it a great place to be?
But Smith isn't the only one concerned for immigrant residents, as the Trump administration has expanded detention efforts.
Why the heck are you turning a blind eye to what ICE is doing in this community?
Lifelong Kent County resident Charlie Snydeker says the local government isn't doing enough to protect immigrants.
Consider the possibility of making Kent County a sanctuary county. It's not unheard of.
Some in Kent County are specifically concerned about what local law enforcement is or is not doing to help federal agents carry out deportations.
We are the biggest department in the county.
We sat down with Kent County Sheriff Michelle LaJoy Young to gain some clarity on the issue. She says that when someone is arrested for a criminal offense, so that doesn't include a civil offense like a traffic violation, the law requires that the person is identified and run through federal databases, including one with people of interest to ICE.
And in that context, we would contact ICE and say, okay, we have this person, what are your intentions? And we'll work the rest of the way through our process.
LaJoy Young says she understands the fear from the community during this tense time, but adds she is required to fulfill her duties under the law.
I can't make you a promise that I can't fulfill. What I can tell you is we only collect information that we absolutely have to do the work that we're doing.
You will not touch our students!
That's Northwestern professor Stephen Thrasher, along with some other protesters, jostling with university police at the encampment back in the spring, something he says he's now being investigated for by the university. You might know that Thrasher has been barred from teaching the past couple of quarters because of a different investigation, one which he says looked into complaints made against him, his social media use, and his views on objectivity in journalism. Thrasher has been an outspoken supporter for Palestinians in Gaza and even gave a speech to demonstrators at the encampment. But that initial investigation, Thrasher says, ended with a committee of professors determining that his suspension was not warranted. So he's coming back to teach classes at Northwestern in the spring, despite this new investigation opening.
This is a political persecution. It's the same thing we argued with the first investigation, that the timing is extremely suspect. This happened 9 months ago. If they were going to investigate me, they should have looked at everything at the same time.
We reached out to Northwestern to get their side of the story, but a spokesperson says they can't comment on personal matters. We'll have more on this tonight at 7 on the Northwestern News Report. If your water wasn't working this morning, it's because of this. We're in Skokie, where there was a major water main break early this morning around 5 a.m. and you can see the flooding around me is pretty bad. I mean, there's several inches of water built up along the sidewalk here, and because it's 20 degrees outside, a lot of the water has actually turned into ice, and if you look across the street, you'll see the sidewalk is completely covered in that ice now. Now, we know, according to Northwestern, that several buildings on campus were affected by this water main break, and Ward 6 in Evanston is under a boil water advisory. Here's the latest on what Skokie officials are saying.
Our hope is that later today we'll be in a position to start recharging the system, if you will. As Mike indicated, the boil order would still be in effect for a period longer and on the time sequence that he laid out in his commentary, but we hope that that's something that will happen yet today.
$2.8 million. That's how much money Northwestern's Associated Student Government controls on a yearly basis.
The clubs and organizations that you're a part of rely on these ASG funds.
And the vast majority of that $2.8 million comes from your tuition money. So if you care about where your money is going and how it affects your education, tune in to the ASG presidential debate tonight at 5.
You can watch it live on the Northwestern News Network YouTube channel.
We'll see you there.